Week 6 discussion, Case Studies in Disaster Ministry by Travis Cornell Lee. The themes that appear to be similar in each of the cases were the process of networking with various agencies, providing administrative support such as housing, clothing, and food, and providing advocacy service to ensure continued support. Volunteers from the churches and local communities rallied in cooperative efforts to provide supplies and financial support. Because the pastors and churches were willing to develop cooperative relationships with other service organizations to practice disaster preparedness, it allowed smooth access, helping survivors make connections with appropriate resources. Cultural differences that may have influenced the performance of disaster ministry work were that it appeared that the disaster responders were sensitive to the cultural needs of the survivors. Wheaton Bible Church, WBC, and the Iglesia del Pueblo, WBC's Hispanic congregation, the Punta del Pueblo team, HBC's on-site ministry, facilitated effective communication between the fire survivors and the various agencies and departments offering assistance. The Hispanic congregation was familiar with the social and cultural factors that would be barriers to accessing services, allowed for direct connections to providers and resources for survivors. The survivors were grateful for the support they received, and to demonstrate their gratitude, they began to attend church services. Resilience. During times of crisis, resilient people have the strength, willingness, and awareness to absorb the need to adapt to situations and regain a sense of self to keep moving forward or find a balance to continue. Robinson and Cooper, 2013, shared a definition of resilience from the online Oxford Dictionary being the ability of substance or object to spring back into shape or capacity to recover quickly from difficulties. Toughness. By having a positive attitude, resilient people think and look inside themselves for self-motivated beyond the current adverse circumstances to make thoughtful choices, use intellect, and to be responsible for their emotional state. Reviewing the cultural aspects of resiliency, the Punta del Pueblo team appeared to connect well with the survivors, helping survivors restore a sense of safety and security by displaying the attitudes of openness and respect, appeared to support the trust and allow for communicating the care and concern for emotional, social, cognitive, and spiritual healing to take place. Aiton and Boyd, 2016, identified in the case study that impact of Christ's body working together was felt by those who lost their homes and by other agencies that responded. Because the pastor and the church congregation had the vision and understood God's calling to Christians to care for others as we build his kingdom. Acts 20:35 calls for us to understand that in all things, I have shown you that by working hard in this way, we must help the weak and remember the words of the Lord Jesus. How he himself said, it is more blessed to give than to receive. God's work, our hands. I have helping hands, love, service. Love and service go hand in hand. That's something that I would love for you to remember. I hope that you enjoyed this discussion, and I hope it has been a blessing to you. So continue to go out and do God's will as we continue to counsel and help our fellow man. Thank you.